Hey there YouTube, it's me, Triple B, aka Big Bad Boss. I'm here to do a ranking power video of the leader cards we have currently in Dragon Ball Z Super, the card game. So currently we have 13 leaders and we're going to rank them from least competitive to the absolute most competitive. Don't worry, we will be showing the cards in the video right here so you guys can read it when we pause it. You can go ahead and pause and read the card if you need to. So let's get going. At number 13 is the Double Strike Goku. Why is it number 13? Well, it's a simple card, and that's its greatest downfall. You gain no real benefit from this card. This card gets outclassed by every other leader card in the game that there's really no incentive in playing this card. You gain no real advantage. Sure, you have an aggressive early game, but that's not really enough. Especially when there's decks like Vegeta Rush that does it way better than what Goku can do. Especially cards like even Ginyu. Like Ginyu Swarm does it better than him. Even like some of the top decks, some of the top leaders do it better than Goku early game. And that's as simple as that. Next is Hit. Now, Hit is a very situational leader. It's only good really against one deck, and that's Ginyu Swarm because of all the blockers. And that's only one deck Hit's abilities ever really reliable or even sorry about that, or even relevant. It's a very situational card, and I do believe that Hit throughout the rest of this game coming forward, depending on all the sets coming in, it might get better. But until then, it's going to send number 12 spot for a good amount of time until blockers become more prevalent, and they may, but we don't know that yet. So Hit would be at number 12 due to its very situational ability. Next is Frieza, and this is the perfect army Frieza that you use in the perfect army deck. It's a very defensive card. It really prevents the opponent from attacking your battle cards, and that the only real way for them to get rid of these cards is literally through spot removal, which is most decks have. But again, most spot removal cards, so the prevalent ones being Beerus, is a 4-drop, which makes it really good. And it's a very powerful deck, speaking from experience, because I have piloted deck before. However, the reason why it's so low on the list is I don't see nor hear this card being mentioned when it comes to the top tables of the top meta decks right now. It's a very underrated, underutilized leader card currently at the moment, because we don't really have enough cards that would make us want to use them for that reason. The only real card that makes this deck even playable at the moment is Full Power Frieza, able to swing with the triple strike and then untap it at the end of your turn, virtually keeping his blocker ability really relevant, is what makes it good. And that's the reason why it's this high on the list compared to Hit or the Double Strike Goku. But I do believe this card will get better over time, depending on what cards we get. Next, at number 10 is Goku Ramp. This is the blue Goku from the packs. It's a very good card, very powerful card, but it gets outshined and outclassed by its more obvious, superior, perfect circle Goku. That leader does so much more than this can ever do. But don't get me wrong, when this card's awakened, it does gain dual attack, which makes it really powerful. However, currently we only have 2 ramp cards, though really good ramp cards. It's just not enough to push this deck beyond the slot it is now. However, in the future, I do see this deck, specifically Goku Ramp deck, and this specific leader, going up in playable value once we get more ramp cards. And I'm pretty damn sure we're going to be getting some more ramp cards very soon. It's just a matter of time until this deck outshines the Perfect Circle deck. But until then, it's at a good spot at number 10, but it will get better eventually. At number 9 is Vitals. Vitals is a very powerful sniper. It can literally attack any battle card in either active or rest mode. It's very powerful for that matter. It really gets rid of the Goku engine. It stops the whole Goku engine, the whole evolution engine that a lot of decks are going for, like the Goku engine, like the Broly engine, like the Champa engine. It really stops those engines from evolving their 1-drops into bigger threats later down the road, which makes it very good. But the only reason why it's at number 9, not any higher, is because we, again, just like all the other units, like the other leaders, we don't hear so much talk about it. We don't really see it that competitively compared to the other leader cards here. Of course, it's higher than the other ones, because I have seen it being played with a very good player who knows how to pilot the deck really well and has really good success. But that's only because a lot of players don't know how to handle the card. A lot of players don't really realize that the deck is only good against heavy battle card decks. Decks that rely on evolution, decks like Ginyu Swarm that rely on bringing out very small blocker drop cards to help you protect yourself. Bottles is perfect against those cards. It's just, there's just not enough bottles out there to justify it being higher in the list. Next, at number 8 is Champa. Amazingly, I wanted to put Bottles over Champa, but the reason why Champa's ahead of Bottles is because of the amount of players who are committed to Champa now. Champa is very powerful of a card, both early, mid, and late game. Is non-pre-awakening form is that if the opponent attacks an awakened leader, basically a leader with 1500 or more in power, you get to draw a card. Just as simple as that. And it's very good at that reason, is that you're able to, especially if you're playing a lot of 1-drops and 2-drops, which the deck is known to do, you're going to draw a lot early game. And to make it even better, it's Awakening form to literally give a guy double strike. Giving a battle card double strike in any duration of the game is very good. Especially if you're giving it to a dual attacker like the 5-drop Bottles. It's a very powerful card. And I do believe that Champa could get better depending on what more red card aliens we get. But currently right now, it is at number 8. I think it's a really good spot for it. Now, at number 7, Beerus. Now, I'm very disappointed that Beerus is this low on the list. I wish he was higher, but because of the lack of support, the lack of players using him, is what puts him this low on the list. Now, Beerus, once the major tournaments comes in, once the major players put their faith into Beerus, it's going to go up in the power rankings like that. Because you can, just like Bottles, you can not only can you snipe cards, but you're attacking the leader at the same time. So you don't have to waste an attack on the battle card. You can attack a leader, pop a battle card, or you can attack a battle card and pop another battle card. Literally, Beerus himself can wipe the board on his own, which makes him very powerful. It makes the decks that rely heavily on field presence double think on what their strategy should be, especially against Beerus. Now, the reason why it's being held back a lot and being at the number 7 spot and not at the number 6 or number 5 like it should be, is that it has a restriction where you have to have 3 energy. Now, that's a very good restriction. If that restriction did not exist, Beerus will be at number 1 for sure. But the fact that this restriction exists is what holds it back, and I think it's fair. But even with this restriction, he could be at number 1 or number 2 or at number 3 once players start finally committing to Beerus and realizing how good it is. It's a very powerful leader, and I personally myself am trying to build a deck with it. I might show a deck profile once it's finished. But currently Beerus is at number 7. Now at number 6, now we're now at the top 6, which are the top 6 leaders that you will be seeing, and these are the top 6 leaders that I do recommend playing more. I do recommend playing Beerus, so it should be the top 7. But at number 6 is Ginyu, basically the main leader card of the Ginyu Swarm deck. This deck just generates a lot of field presence and a lot of advantage through its ability of taking cards from your life and adding it to your hand, or taking a card from your life and putting it to the battlefield. It's what makes it really good. Yes, a lot like Vegeta, it does have its downfalls where you could be killing yourself and that you have to protect yourself. But unlike these other decks, this deck has a lot of blockers. Like, I believe they have a total of, I believe 3 out of the 6 Ginyu cards are blockers. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I do know they play Sorbet as well, so they will have mostly 12 to maybe 16 blockers in a deck. And those blockers do more than blocking, they do other things, which makes it worth it. That's what makes Ginyu Swarm such a powerful deck. Just the amount of presence you have is really powerful. And it's very difficult for players to get over. But it's a very good card. It's a very good leader card, and I do suggest playing it. Now, at number 5, the card that outplays Ginyu is Perfect Circle Frieza. Now, what I mean by Perfect Circle is that you can have the most optimal offensive play, and then you can have the most optimal defensive play during your opponent's turn. basically by having the ability to tap and untapping energies is so good. And the fact that, yes, though you have to sack a card, it replaces it through you drawing a card. Therefore, you're not really losing, and you may be losing field presence, but you're not losing advantage, which is really good at the deck. And it's at number 5 for that specific reason. It's because it has the ability to draw you cards, has the ability to untap energies, and has the ability for you to counter the opponent's abilities, crusher ball the opponent, and just counter the opponent's counters. It's a very, very powerful, very well balanced deck. And it deserves the name Perfect Circle, like Perfect Circle Goku, because of the ability to untap energies. Now, on number 4, we have Gohan, leader of the Gohan Turbo deck. Gohan, if you have more life than your opponent, and if you're playing the deck correctly, you will, throughout the entire game, you draw a card. Basic and very simple. Of course, a lot of players will criticize me saying, if that's the case, then why didn't you give Double Strike Goku a higher list? Though his ability is basic, it's a very crucial basic mechanic. You get the draw card right off the bat in his pre-awakening form, making it very good. In his post-awakening form, not only do you get the draw card, but if you have 6 or more energies, you can tap 6 energies and pop the board. That's what sends it over the moon. Gohan can literally make it be a one-on-one battle between leader cards, and because Gohan can generate more advantage and outpace the opponent more consistently than the opponent can, Gohan will win the battle most likely because of his ability to outpace and out-resource the opponent. And with the ability to pop the board, too good. Just too good. So at number 4, Gohan's sitting happily at number 4 for that reason. At number 3, we have Broly. Broly is a very powerful leader card. By giving you the ability to literally get rid of a card off the opponent's hand is really good. Of course, it hits your own cards, but you do have Broly's ring, which prevents that from happening. And Broly's a very powerful grind out card. Now, Broly would have been at the number 5 slot if it wasn't for the 4-drop Broly. Thanks to the 4-drop Broly, it pushed this leader card in its deck even further to what it should have been. And it's really good. And I do recommend playing Broly, and Broly is a very popular card. You will be seeing him a lot in a lot of your tournaments. At number 2, my personal favorite and my own personal leader card, Vegeta. Thanks to his ability of getting himself critical and outpacing the opponent through taking cards from your life and add to your hand. Very powerful, very good of a card. It's a very powerful early game, very powerful mid game, and a pretty decent late game if you have 7 or more blue energy. It's very known for its very aggressive first turn plays and mid game plays, because of the fact that critical is a very powerful mechanic, and if you can give them double strike, hey, you're outpacing the opponent because those damages they would be getting to their hand is going to the discard pile instead, therefore putting you more in advantage over the opponent. Very powerful unit. I do recommend playing him a lot. Now at number 1 is Perfect Circle Goku. Perfect Circle Goku, aka the one off the structure deck, is just really broke. Again, just like Perfect Circle Frieza, you can have the most optimal offensive play and then have the most optimal defensive play during the opponent's turn. Why is he at number 1 and not Frieza? Well, A, you see him everywhere because he's a structure deck card, and number 2, he does it better. Plain and simple, he does it better than Frieza. Yes, Frieza can get you like 2 cards in your hand, but by doing so, you're losing board presence, therefore you're losing field advantage. With Goku, not at all. You're keeping the field advantage and still getting card off your deck when he attacks when he's awakened. Very powerful unit, very powerful card, and it's going to stay in the top tables for a while until a better unit comes around, or until there's a way to stop energies from unswitching. But until then, it's going to stay at number 1 for a while. It could be switching with Vegeta anytime soon. So that's the power ranking video, guys. Again, this power ranking video can, like everything in the list, can change and can either go up or down depending on how the meta is, but currently that's how the meta is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have been very happy doing this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dokkan Club, and please leave a comment. And if you guys don't agree with me, please tell me why you don't, in a very constructive way. And if you do agree with me, please tell me why. Thank you. Have a nice day.